Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and in this video you can probably already guess what is going to happen from the title, the thumbnail, or what is right here in front of us. So we have a Zap theme deck, very first set, base set. Here we have a knife, and the two are about to meet. So this right here, we have a heat seal, which every single one of these I have ever opened has been shadowless. Deck is on the top half, another good sign. And so I'm going to open this up in hopes that the Pikachus that are inside of this deck, there will be 4 of them. They're not only shadowless, but they are also ghost stamped. And if you don't know what that is, it's a partial first edition stamp that was put over Pikachu that have been confirmed to at least originate in Zap decks. It may originate out of booster packs as well. That's just never been captured, but there is one video out there. In fact, the video of it was a theme deck of mine that I sold to a guy. I bought a gold strip, and then I had another theme deck. The gold strip didn't have it, and I decided, you know what, I'm not going to open the second one because I got to make a little bit of money back. I sold the deck, and sure enough, it had the ghost Pikas in there. All right, here we go. We'll drag this out for a minute. We have a nice Chansey coin. Classic little ding right there on the top. This is a pretty decently hard coin to grade in a 10. Holds a nice little premium. There's some damage counters. Here how they're loose. The rules before they put versions in them. And what I like the most about the original rule books is the colors. Got a lot of cool, low quality colors. You got a nice first edition Charizard there. The first card put inside was the Charizard. There you have a shadowless switch. You have a shadowless fire energy. What else do we have here? Kind of goes through all the different things. Here it shows an unlimited shadowless Raichu. There you go, PK. Kind of rotating around. You got paralyzed to the right, asleep. Then they've got a little bit of advertisement. Some more rules. A checklist. There's the Zap deck. There's Brush Fire. What else we have here? Wait, that one's Overgrowth. There's Brush Fire and Blackout. So the 4 original theme decks. You have some nice watercolor Pokemon here. Anything else? All right, that's about it. So I dragged that out about as much as I can. Here we go. Now, we haven't shown the deck yet, but it is indeed going to be shadowless. You see this right here. Now, I've heard of some decks not being shadowless that have this type of seal, but this is just another indication that it should be. If you see this type of seal on the deck without seeing the front, which I don't know why or how that would happen, you can just kind of know that it's going to be. And here we go. This confirms we have a shadowless Mewtwo. This Mewtwo will be absolutely glue ruined. You can actually see some of the discoloration through the cellophane here, where it's it's almost like a brown color. But there was glue in this, and it deteriorates, I guess, over time, and then it sticks to the surface, unfortunately. Now, I've heard several people talk about how they had some of these decks that like popped open, and they didn't think that the glue was on the front, but I'd like to see that in a video. All right, here we go. Yeah, you can see like where some of the shininess is. This one's not as bad, but you can see it up there. And the discoloration is definitely there. PSA used to grade these with like a stain grade long time ago. I've heard some people still somehow make it through. I've inquired about it many times, and even with all the provenance coming from the sealed deck and video, or even doing it in person, they've always refused to let me grade them with the ST qualifier. All right, so there's the Mewtwo. All right, Kadabra. We have Jinx. And just so you guys know, like if we don't have the Ghost Pikachus, this is not going to be a loss. I mean, the Mewtwo, of course, is the only holo in the deck, but a lot of these other shadowless cards, if they are in mint condition, they will be gradable, and I can still recoup some of the money. Like that Kadabra, it's probably like an 8. I can see from the backside. Jinx, Haunter. These cards in the middle should do a little better. What I like so far is that these cards are not sticking together. A lot of decks, when I open them up, the cards are just stuck together, but these are really coming off smooth. Where's the Pikachu? All right, so we're going to be looking over here on the left side. I failed again, but you know, I think I'm so deep into this at this point, I'm going to have to check almost every like new source for Zapdex that I get. This one come from the West Coast at Card Party, and so I was just hoping that since it was from a different type of source, you know, maybe it was from a different batch and had a shot at it. Now we're going to get through a few more trainers here, and then there's just a lot of energies. And you can see these are all shadowless cards. And if you can't tell with a card like this, because shadowless refers to this side over here, there's no shadow outside the box border. You can always look at the bottom. And again, I assume that most of you know this that are on my channel, but if you don't, right there, it has an extra 99. So it says 98, 99, and then it says copyright 1999, and then there's no space between the 9 and the W. So that's how all shadowless cards are. It's the most visual way to tell if you don't immediately pick up on like the different color saturations and the fact this doesn't have a box showing a Pokemon, so you can't see that it's missing the shadow or the right side shadow along the border of the picture frame. And that's referring to this right here. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe I won't have too many more of these. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I appreciate you guys taking the time to check out an old video like this, you know, going back to just vintage stuff. I know most of you are into the modern market right now. Very hot. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of news out there, seeming like every single day. But this is the stuff that I still enjoy. And I will try to talk about the market, though, when I feel like it's relevant. All right. Thanks.